Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to a special episode of Koenigsegg'S Dagbok, where we're going to be talking about the Koenigsegg that you didn't know existed, i.e. the Koenigsegg quant concept. And this debuted at the 2009 Geneva Motor Show, and this was the brainchild and creation between the collaboration between, of course, Koenigsegg, who properly crafted the car, but it was actually NLV Solar AG who commissioned Koenigsegg to create a car, and the proper main statement was that it should implement their groundbreaking technology, i.e. the FAES system, i.e. the flow accumulator energy storage system, as well as the complete thin photovoltaic solar coating on every single body panel to obviously give it solar power, and of course keep it completely all electric, and of course keep it with the fact that this should look like a complete car from the future or of the future. And by the looks of it, it definitely lives up to that statement. Thereby, this is something that properly was completely construed and properly brought out by, of course, Koenigsegg, but of course they completely just designed it with the commission coming from NLV Solar AG, and this further went on to become the nanoflowcell quant, and of course NLV itself became nanoflowcell in 2016. Hence, of course, that's to clear up all the doubts of what NLV is. But nevertheless, from the looks of it, you can see that this is very reminiscent of something that we know now exists at this very point in time, i.e. the Koenigsegg gemera that literally debuted just over a decade later from the NLV quant or the Koenigsegg quant on its own. And well, that is much better because that puts out 2300 horsepower with a complete hybrid powertrain with the dark matter electric motor that itself puts out 800 horsepower, as well as the jesko 5-liter twin turbo V8 that puts out 1500 horsepower, generating a complete maximum of 2300 horsepower. But nevertheless, completely check out my video on that if you want to see what makes the gemera tick. But nevertheless, coming back to the quant, as I said, it's a complete all electric car with a curb weight of 1780 kilograms, which is relatively light for a complete electric car all the way back in 2009, and of course 2 electric motors powering the rear wheels with the complete power output of 512 horsepower, as well as a complete maximum torque of 715 Newton meters. Not at all bad for the back in the day, and a complete 0 to 62 mile an hour time of 5.2 seconds. That, not gonna lie, that is a little bit lower than I expected it to be, or by lower I mean slower. And of course a complete top speed of 275 kilometers an hour. And one big thing is obviously the proper quintessential feature completely existent on every single Koenigsegg is of course the dihedral synchro-helix actuation door system, but this did not get that. This got gullwing doors, which is another form of completely making it ergonomic and way more easy to get in and get out. And of course that is because of course this isn't a complete ground up build and complete idea thought out by Koenigsegg themselves. Hence, nevertheless, they made it completely different. But nevertheless, the overall design on its own is very much a complete throwback or a throw front, if you will, because of course the gemera is obviously properly crafted over a decade later. But nevertheless, you get my point. And of course, that sounds way better. That's way better on its own. But the proper factor and the complete actual idea of a 2-door 4-seater originated with the Koenigsegg quant. And I mean, obviously, as you guys can see, it's a 2-door car with 4 full-fledged seats that can seat 4 adult human beings. Of course, this being properly ergonomic with the gullwing doors, it is a proper 2-door 4-seater on its own. So that on its own made it a proper bold move back in 2009, and with the fact that it was coming from a complete supercar marquee, and that's what Koenigsegg was considered back in the day, where we know now that they are called a proper hypercar marquee. But nevertheless, back then, since they were the ones creating it, it definitely got quite a lot of hype and credibility. But nevertheless, it is still a proper all-electric car. Of course, this also obviously comes with a complete carbon fiber chassis as well as a carbon fiber / aluminum body with a complete weight of 1780 kilograms, and this can recharge to full capacity in a minimal matter of just 20 minutes. I mean, that number is completely incomprehensible even to this very day. And this also comes with a range of 500 kilometers, which is another complete incomprehensible number. I mean, this is what it could do all the way back in 2009, and of course the proper hand for that goes to the NLV's FAES system, as well as the complete twin electric motor system, as well as the fact that the 2 electric motors collectively weigh in at 140 kilograms, and the complete FAES system, i.e. the complete flow accumulator energy storage system itself weighs in at 450 kilograms, with the fact of no hazardous materials or any heavy metals embedded inside it. And of course this obviously comes with a complete rear-wheel drive layout, and the complete twin electric motor setup on its own completely eliminates the need for bevel gears or even a differential at that, thereby giving it a complete simplified layout, as well as the fact that this could completely put out constant and control power to the rear wheels. I mean, this was all the way back in 2009, thereby making this a proper revolutionary beast. And not to mention the fact that Koenigsegg also did CFD on this, i.e. computational fluid dynamics, where this has a drag coefficient of 0.27 CD, which is just shy of the required drag coefficient for the Koenigsegg jesko Epsiode, which was 0.28 CD, and this is literally Koenigsegg doing their thing. I mean, they do the proper, most ballsy and the most bold things to the cars, and especially of a car of this nature, it wasn't required, but their Koenigsegg, they do it because that is their very own style, thereby showcasing that Koenigsegg properly do their own thing. And well, what do you guys think? And in terms of the design, well, obviously guys, the gemera is the soul picking, it looks better, and in terms of the fact of that it gets a proper V8, I mean, let's be honest guys, no electric car on the face of the planet can ever replicate what an internal combustion engine and the proper feel of what an internal combustion engine can generate, and no electric car can even come close. It may even be the Rimacs, where it may top out at the most neck breaking speeds, but the proper character and experience that you get from an ICE can never be replicated by any electric car on the face of the earth ever, period. And of course, it also comes with 4-wheel brake regeneration as well as 4-wheel ABS and ESP. Well, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Well, thanks a lot for watching guys. Remember that sub button and click the bell to ensure you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks a lot for watching guys. See ya.